All right, team, we're seeing some correction in the markets today, and we are back with the Ask Maddie show to discuss what you should probably be buying right now. And we do not give financial advice here. We are simply going to talk about what we are doing, as I have been dollar cost averaging, making some purchases. And you might ask, why would you be DCing at these prices? I thought you got in on the bear market. Well, for some crypto assets, Maddie, still offering great lucrative buying opportunities. So we're going to discuss those today. And we're seeing, Maddie, you said something before the show. It's like, oh, Gavin, I told everyone it was going to happen, and look at where we're at right now. Maddie, what are we exactly seeing in the markets right now?
We're seeing some of the most normal and healthy behavior that a market could offer. I think that a lot of people have been conditioned by the last, let's even say 4 to 5 weeks of price action. And they're like, Matt, we're in the banana zone now, right? Like all of your technical mumbo jumbo parlor trick, crystal ball bullshit doesn't apply to this anymore, right? But the reality is markets can only march in one direction so long, even if it's a very clear break in trend, a very clear set of impulses that are kicking off. We generally need some sort of correction in order to rebalance the market, march back to those areas of interest, and reconfirm them as floors of support. So I love to see it. If you guys are out there and you guys were just buying like madmen for the last 3 weeks, you're probably pretty upset right now and you think the crypto markets are about to collapse. But again, personal entries do not dictate the overall performance of an asset. Again, this is why we have to look at daily charts, weekly charts, and monthly charts to help us make more educated decisions, not put up the Coinbase chart on a 15-minute chart and go, this is what's happening for the next 3 weeks.
I love that, Matt. And from a grander scale, that's an argument you could use about scaling in and out in this bull run, why you should not just be holding until the next bear market. If you did all your due diligence in the bear market, you shouldn't just go through this bull run willy-nilly and not sell any cryptos, not take any profits, and not look to compound your crypto portfolio. So the same argument could be made there, team, and you got to be strategic here. In today's show, we're all talking about strategy and things that are going on. We're going to be discussing Casper price targets. You guys want some updated price targets, and honestly, they do need to be updated, Maddie, because we did see some lower price action on Casper as of the last couple months, so we do need to discuss those things. With Casper at a penny, under or at a penny, a 1.7 cents right now we're seeing on Casper. Who would have thought, Matt? And I love this because that's what I'm buying right now. We're also going to discuss Sui a little bit today, a runner. I think it's gone up like 900% from the lows this bear market. Crazy. Talk about VeChain, maybe some other cryptos, and we're also going to discuss the Brad interview. Before we get into the content today, team, you know what I'm going to say. Become a Crypto Charge member. Click the pinned link in the comment section down below. Please do that, and you can sign up using code YouTube. And we are from a crypto education platform, team. You need to get educated. You get lost in the sauce right now. I don't want that from you. I was telling someone the other day, I was like, I don't even know what to say on the show anymore. It's like, I want to talk about things with people, Matt, but I don't trust them. I don't trust most of you. I don't trust you guys to properly swing trade your bags on the way up. If you're not in the crypto charge community, I don't trust you. So a lot of things are meant to say, like, the pretext is be a crypto charge member and then do the things we're talking about. If you're going to buy Render or Solana right now, good freaking luck, bro, because you're probably not going to, you're going to be sitting underwater, 18 months from now, and we're all going to laugh at you, all right? So don't do that. Become a Crypto Charge member. Maddie, let's get into the hot takes, the questions of today. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
One Don 8523 says, can we do another Casper price target month update, please, broskies?
Yeah, sure. We can take a look at the Casper chart here. And one thing that I'm going to kind of preface this with prior to us getting into it is, first of all, nothing we talk about here is financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, and you guys need to make a plan that's good for you and your portfolio. I don't know what your average is. I don't know how much you have invested. I don't know what kind of bad debt you have revolving that maybe is propelling some of the money that you have in this market, right? I can't make those decisions for you. So I'm going to talk you guys through a few areas of interest that I presented to my team. Again, some people have very big risk tolerance, and they're going to ignore targets 1 and 2, and they're going to go right for 3 and 4. For some people, they really, really want to start de-risking at 1 and 2, and they think it makes a lot of sense for them, and they're going to hold out some for 3 and 4. So you guys have to make a decision what's good for you. So we're just going to be pointing to areas of interest. This is not your personal target plan. You need to develop something that makes sense for you in your personal situation. Let's take a look at the chart though, because this is where all the answers are going to come from. And this is probably one of the things with this particular chart that makes it difficult for a lot of people to kind of quantify where they want to take profits, because we had such a crazy, disgusting initial candle for Casper on most exchanges where you just have like anywhere from, let's call it a 2 to $10 candle close, and then you just see huge cascade, and then you see like maybe the 22-cent pocket start to show a little bit of support, and then we drop down to like the 2.5 to 5 cent area as a big pocket. That's where we spent the majority of our price action. And then obviously you had the Prove AI news where people panic sold. We've recovered well above those levels now. If you guys sold the bottom, boo-hoo, you sold the bottom. Hopefully it's a lesson for you guys next time not to be such emotional investors. Jedi mindset. Let's talk about those areas of interest though. So one of the things that we always mark up prior to us bringing the Fibonacci's in is some of the big areas of previous support and resistance. And we can always use these pockets as our North Star, some areas of interest that we could potentially target. So I'm going to guess that the average Casper holder, assuming that you didn't do any DCA here, the sub 2 pennies is somewhere in the 2.8 to 4 cent region, right? That's probably where the average person's, price is, right? And again, that's why I say, like, if your average is 1.8 cents, maybe you're gonna make different decisions if your average is 4 cents. So that's why I'm gonna preface it with that. When we look at current market, one of the big areas of interest that I know that a lot of my team is going to be doing some sort of initial unload, could be maybe as little as 10%, maybe it's as high as 30%. But looking at the current market price up into like the 21 to 30 cent pocket from current market is an 11 to a 20x. So again, let's make sure we're looking at the rewards here and not being like, well, you said $1, so why would I sell any for there? Guys, look at the reward, right? Like Bitcoin would have to hit what, $2 million in order to receive the same reward at Casper at 21 to 36 cents. That is going to be part of our TP plan here. One of the other things we're using here, and again, I do see candle closes at $1.36, and depending on the exchange, $1.50, $1.22, right? It kind of varies that where we see some of those candle closes on that initial launch. Is what I've done to kind of give myself a little bit of a leg up when it comes to the Fibonacci ranges. I'm actually using this double top here, and again, I'm still using the other range, but for the short term, I'm using the double top that we had here from July of 21 and December of 21, the breakdown, and then the low that was set here in November 2. What is supported here in this instance is you guys can see kind of like that 34, 35 cent pocket is supported as the 1.618. We also have, upwards of 56 cents to 90 cents as kind of the upper bounds of the target here. We're getting kind of close to some of those candle body closes we're talking about $1.36 or more. Now, of course, when we look at the Fibonacci sequence using just the smaller range beyond that, you got $1.71, 277, 448. Would I recommend you guys hold out your entire Casper bag until 277, 448, or 725? No, of course not. I believe that those are moon bag targets. But should you take maybe a little trim up here at some of these liquid pockets and then do another trim up, just sub $1 and then start to kind of like look at the moon targets at 136, 277 and beyond as, depending on your overall average, your risk tolerance? Yeah, of course. The other thing to consider is a lot of us have not been leaving money on the table and staking our Casper, right? So you can look at some of the rewards you've earned and go, okay, maybe some of these rewards, I can be a little bit, riskier with this, right? I can hold out for these rewards a little bit longer because I didn't pay anything for these, right? But we want to make sure that we're doing a good job de-risking on the way out. And just like we DCA'd in, DCA'd out. So for me, one of those initial TPs that some of you guys are maybe looking to exit at, 22 to 35 cents might be a consideration. Again, not financial advice. You got to make a plan that's good for you. But those are some of the things we're looking at as a team.
Leader Rise says, what are your thoughts on Sui, Matt?
So, I know that a lot of my team got into Sui. If you guys have been following me long enough now, I'm a very concentrated portfolio guy, not so concentrated that I'm a two asset guy, but I also just don't hold 30 to 50 assets because I like to be able to effectively add to the stuff in my portfolio. I'm a person who also does swing trades, right? We have a sushi swing trade and a mana swing trade and an alluvium swing trade and our velo swing trade, right? So I have swing trades in addition to my main positions, but I try to be very particular about what I do add to. And one thing that you guys absolutely will know is that I do not add to things that are basically at new all-time highs or at the top of impulses. That is just the number one breaker of all of my tactical rules. So with Sui right now, we've definitely had a good series of higher highs and higher lows that have been established here. You have the low that was set in November here. In July of 24, you had another higher low. You had higher highs in here. We've been breaking in higher highs. I really would not be a buyer of Sui unless we came back to like $1.93, $2 region. And some of you guys are like, hey, maybe that doesn't happen. You know what? Maybe it doesn't happen. And opportunities do pass you by, but there is a certain risk reward here that needs to be established in order to determine if this is a good risk reward opportunity. So swing high, swing low off that last crashing structure. We just knocked out to that 2.618. I would like to see a retest of the previous all-time high before I consider this a good tactical buy. Again, I don't really know a lot about from the fundamentals of Sui. I know that it's very, very popular right now, but popularity a lot of times has to do with price action itself and not so much the excitement behind the developments in the ecosystem. So wish Sui holders well, but the area of interest that needs to get back tested is $1.93.
Ricky says, what did you think of the XRP interview with 60 Min?
So yeah, still have yet to check out the 60-minute interview. It's been
Matt.
incredibly busy. It's been busy. You know why? Because we've been doing one-on-one sessions. We've been getting people locked in with
There
some
we go.
customized plans here. We've been absolutely crazy in the Discord, and I've been dialing a lot of time into the charts lately. So still have not had a chance to check it out. Again, not that I don't think it's valuable. I just I know the story. I know what's happened here, right? I've been studying XRP for 7 years. I don't need the mainstream media to give me their compressed version of what they think that we need to know about XRP and Ripple. So if you guys are brand new to the space, I don't think it could hurt watching the interview, but I'm sure I could point you to a million YouTube resources that compresses the story in a much more compelling way that gives you a better oversight into everything that happened. So sorry, still didn't catch it, brother.
No, it's good. It wasn't even that worth it. Honestly, Matt, people would be better off keeping up because Brad Garlinghouse does like an interview once or twice a month on CNBC or one of these obscure Bloomberg. He'll go on there and talk about like new Ripple updates or developing things with what they're going to be doing. That's well more worthwhile. Those never really get the news like this 60-minute interview has, and it was really nothing. We were gonna do a show on Monday, and I was literally like on Monday night going through it. Monday morning, I'm like, "There's no news out here. The only thing that people are discussing is this 60 minutes interview," and it was a nothing burger. And they brought the SEC, the former SEC guy John Reed Stark, on there, and it was just like really nothing. What they did was, and they go in with a narrative, Matt. They like, okay, this is the narrative we want. Let's just go execute. They bring on the SEC guy to be like, "Oh, crypto's a scam," and then they bring on Brad to be like, "No, crypto's really cool," and so nothing.
Little good cop, bad cop combo there.
I will tell you this, Matt, and I do want to talk about this really quick just because it was the only thing I really got out of the interview. When they started off, the interviewer, I think her name's Bridget, asked Brad about, is crypto like this powerhouse hungry machine where it's going to go after political candidates if they're not supporting crypto? Something to that effect. I might have added some more words there. And when doing my due diligence, it was so funny because like Fairshake, the PAC, we were talking about this on Monday Match, just so funny because they went after Democrats really, all right? And I would understand how 60 Minutes, owned by CBS, owned by Paramount Global, would kind of push a narrative. And what we were looking at, Matt, on Monday for the team here, what happened is Fairshake helped ad campaigns, $14 million towards ad campaigns for Democrats, all right? Democrat running candidates. They also put $13 million towards Republicans, so roughly the same. What they did do, and this happens a lot, is these PACs, is they'll go after candidates using ad campaigns. One of the examples is like Katie Porter, and you'll see this happen with other PACs. And they went after Katie Porter earlier this year because I think she said something wrong about crypto. So we're gonna put a bunch of money in an ad campaign to go after her and smear her. What was funny, Matt, the funny part here is out of Fairshake, no money was used against any Republicans to smear their name. But the same amount of money that Fairshake put in to help Democrats that were supportive of crypto, they use almost the same amount of money to smear Democrats that were not supportive of crypto or anti-crypto, right? So in the context, I know you didn't see the 60 Minutes interview, but just to start it out, that's how they really started the interview. Just to see that Fairshake was able to quote unquote help Republicans and help Democrats, but smear Democrats on the other side was actually pretty funny. It makes you wonder, like, okay, is being a Republican now a crypto idea? Or if you are a crypto owner, does that mean you have to be a Republican? What are your kind of thoughts on that?
I think that it teases us up for a very interesting kind of follow through here on your Republican and GOP promises, because it was very easy during this campaign to be like, you guys saw what Biden and Kamala did, right? Like you saw how the Democrats crushed crypto for the last 3.5 years. The obvious solution is red flavored Gatorade, right? Like this is the better option because everything you've seen for the last 3 years has crushed crypto. And I agree with that. Like I witnessed Joe Biden swat down very important regulation. I've seen, Democrats vote actively against legislation that would have been very helpful to the crypto industry and, identifying some very important things like, brokers and exchanges and registration and, securities and all these different things. So I think it was very easy to smear Democrats in that capacity. Now, Republicans over the next 3 years have to show that they're not all talk and then they're actually going to follow through and roll their sleeves up and get to work, right? And that is my hope. Like, even if Democrats had won, I would hope that they were going to roll their sleeves up and get to work on, building some reasonable regulation to help this industry forward. But what we saw over the last 3 years shows that they didn't have the intention to do that. So I'm hoping that we get the follow through here, because that's going to be interesting about how the super PAC maybe approaches this into the next election cycle. As if the GOP doesn't follow through on their promises, how do they approach their spending in that capacity? So I hope that it was money worth spent well, and we get the results that we were promised.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I think they spent like $170 million fair shake. And we were talking about this last year in 2023 when they were spending money. And I think they have like $60 or $80 million left over for the upcoming midterms. So we'll see, Matt. We'll see. Last question here, kind of round out the show. Meta Burt says, HBAR, Velo, Casper, XRP, Crypto Charge. Let's hear what cryptos you are buying.
So you guys can check out what we're buying Monday through Friday, cryptocharge.com. Seriously, guys, come get signed up. It's $50 a month with code YouTube. That code is not going to get you 50% off at the end of December, but you don't have to tune in just once a week to kind of find out what we got going on. So if you guys know anything about the way that we approach things, it's all from a technical perspective, right? It's all about averages. It's about if we're raising averages, are we doing it in a tactical manner? HBAR and XRP have not come back enough for me to add to them. And people are like, well, you don't understand XRP and all this institutional money, and HBAR's got all this ecosystem building. I don't give a shit. I really don't. This is all about a money-making scheme in the grand scheme for me, right? So I'm just not going to be raising my averages in a capacity with HBAR and XRP right now. Now, Velo and Casper are below what we consider a DCA tolerance. Right. So if you guys watch a consistent investor strategy on the website, we show you guys how do we establish that DCA tolerance. We pick some macro numbers that we're like, hey, risk reward beyond this point doesn't make sense. Below this price, it makes a lot of sense, even if like short term you're in drawdown, because we know that prices are going to be significantly higher at targets 1, 2, 3. So for Velo and Casper right now, those are easy DCAs. I'm primarily DCAing into Casper right now just because I had a lot of work cut out for me from the 2.5 to 3.5 cent average up there. I've definitely been very effective with it. As you guys know, a lot of us bellied up to the bar. Crypto Charge bought sub 1 penny Casper. So definitely that helped quite a bit. So really most of my attention is in Casper right now. But Velo is another one that I think has pulled back enough that you guys could potentially look for some entries there. I also still like APA3. Like I think that APA3 once it's at $6-7, people are going to be asking, hey, what's a good entry for APA3? Gone, baby. Like gone with the wind. It's not here anymore. So, APA3 $7 is a good deal, but we got lots of stuff in the coin library. There's lots of limits in there that you guys can look at, lots of DCA tolerances you guys can look at. You can kind of pin that up against your portfolio and kind of see what you might want to add in there. But yeah, those are some of the things that we're looking at right now, Crypto Charge.
Matty, those cats that say, oh, XRP is going to go to whatever, those are the people that weren't buying in the bear market. Because if you did buy in the bear market, you'd be like us. You'd be like, hey guys, honestly, I don't even care if you buy crypto, to be honest. I know Matt bought his crypto. I know I bought my crypto. We just come on a show to talk shop about crypto, to tell you, if you did what we did, we're just having a blast right now. We come on the show every week. We're like, yeah, I'm sitting pretty good. My crypto doing awesome, feeling really rich right now, and that's about it. But for you other people that come in that have to make excuses like, well, it's okay for me to buy render right now. Why? Because it's going to go a lot higher. And it's like, okay, what is a lot higher? What price are you selling at? What I like when you always go to the risk reward ratio, Matty, because people, when you go back to Bitcoin, it was like, oh, you got to get to 2 million before you're going to do what I'm going to do on Casper. Really puts in perspective there, because you should not be risking your investment dollars like that for you to go now sit in a bear market for 2.5, 3 years and just suck wind, and we laugh. We're like, ha ha ha, we took all these profits while we get to buy the bottom, and you're sitting deeply underwater, right? You don't want to be doing that, team. Buying Casper right now. Got to be buying Casper right now. Matty, that is all we have on today's show. Team, if you got something valuable here, make sure you leave a like. I think we discussed a lot of good. Matty giving those Casper price targets or talking about some interest zones for you. I thought that's very important. And talking about Sui, Brad, and some of those extra things. We always had to add something a little extra. I got to go on a little like, well, let's talk about this. This comment says this. It's like, well, let's bring it full picture here. Let's bring it out. Let's zoom out. Let's look at what this really means. Team, that's all we have for today. Make sure you leave a like. I expect to see you in the Discord. A lot of good things going on there, Matty. The team is really excited right now. Really, really excited. And how could you not be excited? If everyone's making money around you, how could you not be excited?
Oh, absolutely, brother. It's been really nice. Like I said, we're doing a lot of one-on-ones, and that involves a lot of portfolio reviews. So just kind of looking through people's averages and kind of how they built their positions. And I'm like, first of all, holy shit, you guys were listening up during the whole bear market.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some incredible averages. Like a lot of my team is absolutely crushing it right now. Like I'm talking about like 43-cent XRP averages. H bar at 3.5 cent average. Like I've seen some fantastic averages. So not that we can all buy the bottom, but you guys can potentially add on a tactical high or low. We'd like to help you do that over CryptoChart. So come check us out, code YouTube, and see you guys soon.
Team, we will see you over there. But until next week, team, bye.